now return to Skybound Transformers. Greetings, wicked peoples. Fishie 22.8 here, and today we have issue 16 of Skybound Transformers. Back on Cybertron. We shouldn't be here, Blue Streak says cautiously as he, Cliffjumper, and Ilita walk through rubble. You said that already, Blue Streak.
We're serious, Cliff. Some places should be left untouched. Not to mention that a Decepticon patrol could come at any moment. We should be back at the compound.
Ilita 1 tells the little red demon, who is still hell-bent on finding something in the wreckage of this bombed-out crater. I need to check something out. Besides, the Decepticons know there's nothing here. Not after they bombed it. As Cliffjumper makes his way through the wreckage, it was here that Starscream killed my clan. And after killing something, why ever come back? As the Minibot starts to dig through the wreckage, that's why I put them here, where nobody would find them. As he pulls a small spark canister from the wreckage, there's only pieces of each of my friends left. Not enough to bring any of them back, but maybe enough to make something new. Back on Earth, the two Decepticon sub-factions come to a head as Soundwave yells, Constructicons! We will take it from here, Leader Soundwave! Constructicons combine! The Constructicons unite to form Devastator to even the battlefield.
Prepare for devastation, Bruticus!
Bellows the green behemoth as he squares up against Bruticus. Standing on the sidelines, Optimus Prime is quick to react, realizing that they are in way over their head against two combiners. We must get out of the way! Run, Autobots! But my machine! The resulting explosion cuts off Wheeljack as the Autobots jump into the water for safety. Just as Bruticus and Devastator are taking blows towards each other, Soundwave runs towards Starscream, who is screaming to kill, kill, kill! On the other side of the lake, two kids are sitting on their bikes, watching the entire event unfold in amazement.
Starscream, how do you spell function?
Sniveling fool! You cannot kill what is unkillable! I can't say the same for yourself!
Starscream yells as he shoves Soundwave into the way of Astro Train to run him down, just as Thundercracker swoops in, opening fire on Starscream. Starscream! Why are you doing this?
You were there, Thundercracker! You left me to his evil usurping plan!
You left us no choice! You were unhinged! Thundercracker yells as he transforms into robot mode, running up to punch Starscream. As the two Seekers start trading blows with each other, Starscream finally admits the truth.
You think Soundwave is any different than me? It was both of us who tore your precious Skywarp to pieces for all of his useful metals!
This horrifying admission of the truth stops Thundercracker in his tracks, telling Starscream he lies, only giving him the opportunity to wind up and slug Thundercracker hard.
Wake up from your naivety, Thundercracker! The universe is only for the strong! Turbo-Ratty Turbo-Rat! Spark versus Spark! Metal on metal!
Aiming his null ray in victory with a smirk, Starscream continues.
Now you do—
As Thundercracker holds his little control panel between two fingers.
Thundercracker, stop! Give that back! Thundercracker?
Starscream's voice starts getting more nervous and nervous as Thundercracker narrows his optics.
Don't! No! Stop! No!
Screams the flightless Seeker as he goes over the edge. As Soundwave and Astro Train are trading blows just below Thundercracker and Starscream.
Only cowards would side so easily.
You think I care about size? Who hates Megatron more? Starscream or yourself? I go with who will let me kill the one who ended my love!
Bellows the Triple Changer as he rears his elbow up to smash into Soundwave's head, only to be stopped by a falling Starscream landing on his head. Calling to his second-in-command, Soundwave yells for Thundercracker's assistance.
Thundercracker, quickly, help me with these brutes.
Thundercracker just stares at Soundwave with an empty glare as he transforms and flies away from the battle.
What are you doing? Come back, Thundercracker!
As he escapes the battle, Thundercracker flies over the Autobots, where Optimus Prime snaps yet again.
Enough with this mindless fighting! If this structure is destroyed, the humans in this entire area will be devastated!
Overhearing Optimus's remark, Starscream stops in mid-punch of Soundwave to make a comment.
Are you a baby? You actually think we care about the squishies?
You must...
Trying to plead with Starscream, Optimus Prime clutches his head in pain yet again as the dark, evil influence that has been slowly creeping into his mind takes hold with another evil vision. As Jazz tries to talk some sense into Optimus Prime and stop him from committing a horrible atrocity akin to Megatron, Optimus just looks up with purple optics, levels the fusion cannon, and opens fire. Starscream and Soundwave barely avoid the fusion cannon blast as it strikes the dam that was right between them. Both the combiners stop and stare as the dam gives way, as the powerful torrents of water washes away all of the combatants in the battle. As Optimus and Jazz hold on for dear life to some rocks, fighting the torrents of water, Wheeljack questions what happened. As Optimus tells him he does not know, he realizes we have innocent bystanders in the way of the water. As the two kids who were watching the fight from afar try to get out of the way of the rushing water, Optimus Prime realizes that even though the flow of the water is aiding him in his speed, he will not reach the children before they are killed by the water. When a shadowy figure steps in front of the children.
What strange little creatures. Hello, small things.
The shadowy figure says as he activates a force field, saving the two children. As the left hand transforms from blaster into a humanoid-looking hand, the figure starts to introduce themselves, only to be cut off from a distant yell by Wheeljack.
Trailbreaker!
The ecstatic Autobot engineer continues.
Talk about getting revived in the nick of time!
Sorry I'm late to the party. I woke up and almost got crushed by those two. What in the spark is going on?
Trailbreaker questions, as Optimus looks at his hands in disgust and just whispers to himself.
Chaos.
Back on Cybertron. Is this all that's left? Cliffjumper asks Ilita as they walk into the Autobot base, telling Cliffjumper that the Decepticons have intercepted long-range transmissions. They don't know if there's other pockets of resistance of the Autobots. For all she knows, they're the only Autobots left. I don't recognize anybody.
I'm not surprised, Cliff. You left before any of them were even made. How are you feeling, Warpath?
Hanging in, Commander. Thanks for putting me back together. Finally showing some compassion where she was lacking before, Ilita puts her hand on Warpath's shoulder, reassuringly.
It's not as good a job as it should be, but we did our best.
She then turns to Cliffjumper and asks him what is he going to do with that spark canister. I'm taking them to the Well of Sparks.
You can't be serious. Going that deep into Decepticon territory is a death sentence.
Technically speaking, Ilita, at this point, everywhere is Decepticon territory, Warpath chirps in. You need reinforcements. Wouldn't a new warrior help? All of you? Ilita, if we could get that place back under Autobot control, it could be a rallying cry to the rest of the Autobot factions across Cybertron, Bluestreak adds. From there, we can make contact with all the remaining Autobot forces.
If there even are any.
Ilita, right now you have no hope in your spark. I'm not sure that any of us do anymore. But a new Autobot could help ignite that fire inside us once again. Turning towards this hell-bent little red demon, Ilita then asks him what? You get what you want and then you take off back to Earth? Cliffjumper just looks at the spark canister in his hands and solemnly says, No, to Carly. Gliding through the skies in his search for Megatron, Laserbeak approaches a cave, only to hear a familiar voice greet him. My old friend. A hand reaches up and starts caressing Laserbeak, like an old friend, a faithful pet. It has been too long. With a quick movement, the hand grabs Laserbeak by his throat, pulls him in, and starts ripping wires as the figure says, I must thank you for finding me wandering this desolate landscape. As Megatron takes the wires he pulled from Laserbeak's chest and inserts them into his own optics. But thanks to your temporary sacrifice, I can now see. As Megatron stands up with Laserbeak perched upon his shoulder, Laserbeak's head turning in unison with Megatron so the tyrant can see. Now guide me to my warriors. And that has been issue 16 of Skybound's Transformers. Now, before I really get into my opinions of this issue, I want to give a very special thanks to Kirsten Greenfield for reprising her role as Aelita 1 in my series. Thank you so much for bringing life into this character where I failed to do so before. I was able to do it with RC, but I couldn't do it with Aelita. Thank you so very much, Miss Greenfield. And now that we're approaching the end of the video, I need to summarize some of this stuff with some opinions. This is not my strong suit. This is why this video's taken so damn long to get out. I have spent about a week on this part of the video alone. So this one probably is going to suck ass. And with that being said, I am so happy that Daniel Warren Johnson, A, didn't kill off Trailbreaker, and B, gave him his original name, Trailbreaker. Like I said, I've spent about a week just on the end of this video because I get on a tangent about the names. So that's enough about Trailbreaker. I am so happy he's back. But if I keep talking about him, I'm going to make this a 20-minute video, and it's just going to be me angrily ranting about trademarks. So, on to Starscream and his fellow Seeker. Starscream has metaphorically let the cat out of the bag and told Thundercracker the truth, and now Thundercracker's got one of two options, the way I see it. He is either going to A, join the Autobots in a vengeance mission against the Decepticons, and then slowly have a change of spark and become an Autobot, actually become one, or he's going to kind of do what Beachcomber, I keep getting those two mixed up. He's going to do what Beachcomber has done and basically, fuck the fighting, I'm done with the fighting. If you want me to do anything but fighting, I'll help you out. Last thing I'll touch on before I wrap this video up with my standard ending. Optimus Prime is going to have one hell of a fight against Megatron when Megatron finally does appear full force in the comic in front of the Autobots and Decepticons. I mean, we're already seeing Optimus Prime struggling, fighting the influence of a piece of Megatron. How much of the influence is going to get strengthened when Megatron is in closer proximity to his missing limb? Is that influence going to fully consume Optimus Prime and turn him into a Megatron-controlled drone? I'm very curious as to what's going to happen when these two titans finally do clash in this series. I mean, the groundwork has been set up for a really damn good fight, and I am looking forward to it. And I also hope Sarah Stern stays along with the colors, because her colors are just making Corona's art insanely pop, in my opinion. And both of those two are adding to Daniel Warren Johnson's story. So you got this trifecta, in my opinion, of fucking awesomeness. A wicked-ass story from Daniel Warren Johnson, insane art by Mr. Corona, and then Sarah Stern's colors are just holy shit. And with the praise toward the people behind this issue now out of the way, please go out and buy your own physical and or digital copies of these comics to support those said people, because what they're doing is fucking awesome, and I'd like to see this continue for a while longer. I don't care if it's for another 2 years or if it's a decade. I just really hope this series continues like it is, because this is In the opinion of a little tiny goldfish on YouTube, this is a really damn good Transformer comic. It has flat out revitalized my interest in comic books in general. So, thank you for that. And with that, hitting the 15-minute mark, I'm going to wrap up this video. Once again, thank you, Kirsten Greenfield, for your assistance as Aelita 1 in this comic dub. I thank you, Daniel Warren Johnson, Mr. Corona, and Miss Stern for your talents and insane contributions to the Transformers lore and fandom. And as always, I've already said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it every other damn video. Do please go out and buy your own physical and or digital copies of these comics to support the amazing people behind them, and hopefully, with that, they won't come crashing down upon me with copyright in case I do add a little too much of a video. Until next time, later, wicked peoples.
Me Grimlock not want to hear praises and opinions. Me want to hear story.
Yeah, tell Swoop good part of story. Good part of story. Well, if you two quit interrupting me when I'm telling you these war stories, I'd be able to get to the good part. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Trailbreaker saved the two little humans.
Me Grimlock not care about little humans. Me care about story.
Grimlock, do you want to hear the story or not?